8 of the most inspiring Christian women in Hollywood. These Christian women are not ashamed to share their faith in Jesus openly, despite the stigma in Hollywood. Carrie Underwood. Carrie Underwood. With many of her songs filled with gospel roots and Christian themes, Carrie Underwood has become one of the brightest stars to shine the light of Christ in Hollywood. In several interviews, Carrie and her husband, Mike Fisher, continue to talk about the importance of Christ in their marriage and career. Lee Gifford. Lee Gifford. Having been introduced to Billy Graham at a young age, Lee Gifford and her family came into their faith by watching him on their television screen. Her faith evolved through the years and she has more recently used her platform to share her trust in the Lord as she's had to say goodbye to her husband of 29 years. Cameron Bure. Cameron Bure. One of the most well-known and admired Christian women in Hollywood is Cameron Bure. As a child star in the hit show Full House, Candace didn't let the early fame and spotlight sway her from her strong faith in Christ. She's used her celebrity status as a platform to boldly share her faith, unwavering to the pressures of the industry and critics. Kristin Koch. With one of the most captivating and beautiful voices on Broadway, Kristin Koch remains a devout Christian girl that got her start singing at churches in Oklahoma. To this day, Kristin maintains her daily life of prayer and time with the Bible. Fonda. Fonda has been an American icon since her acting career began in the 1950s. Jane grew up an atheist, but surrendered her life to Christ as a born-again Christian shortly after her marriage ended with Ted Turner. To deepen her faith, she became a student at the Interdenominational Theological Seminary in Atlanta where she learned more about the Bible and theology. Her faith has evolved over the years, which she shares openly on her website and admits her faith is a work in progress but that she believes in the teachings of Jesus and tries to practice them in her life. Bassett. Award-winning actress Angela Bassett is a strong woman of faith and often publicly shares her belief in God in interviews. As a frequent and loyal member of the West Angeles Church of God in Christ, Angela doesn't falter when discussing her faith. When you realize that every breath is a gift from God. When you realize how small you are, but how much He loved you. That He, Jesus, would die, the Son of God Himself on earth, then you just weep. Roma Downey. Roma Downey and her husband Mark Burnett have revolutionized the television industry and have been the driving force behind 2 of the biggest Christian television programs to air on national television, The Bible Experience and The Bible Continues. When her mother died when she was just a little girl, she found solace in her faith. I have loved Jesus my whole life and it has been such a privilege for me. To be able to marry my work and God together has been such a blessing. Patricia Heaton. As a regular member of the Dream Center Church in Echo Park, California, Patricia Heaton is known for boldly sharing her faith, even if it has cost her big acting roles. As a guest on The Adam Carolla Show, Patricia didn't hesitate to open up about the gospel on an atheist radio program. God is perfect and you have to be perfected in order to exist with Him. We are not perfect. Sin is, when you miss the mark. We all are born with this sort of disease and the cure for the disease, is the blood of Christ.